Welcome to Fearfully and Wonderfully Me, a podcast for women on leadership and life skills with Rhea Story.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast episode. I am super excited to be sharing this podcast episode with you today because I have a very special guest. And not only that, I consider her a friend as well. So, Lori, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Rhea. I'm really excited to be here.
So give us a little bit of detail about you, Lori, before we get into like how we got connected and all of that. We'll get into some of the details of your story, but kind of give us a little bit of an overview of you.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I have a long story, but I'll shorten it. So, I am a healthcare worker or semi-retired healthcare worker, and I started in the healthcare industry pretty young. It's a joke that I have that I was old enough to work in healthcare and give people IV contrast, but I wasn't old enough to drink. So, I've been there a long time. So after 33 years of healthcare and kind of, working to find my passion, and once I did, kind of behind the scenes side hustled, my fitness passion, and this last year I've been able to make that a reality and do that full time.
Oh, that's cool. And that's where you're at today is your studio, your fitness studio.
Yes, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So, rewind for just a little bit because you're talking about kind of your transition, right, from healthcare industry into the fitness, and I want to get into kind of the details of what that looks like. But um, you and we've known each other for quite a few years. I was trying to think exactly when we met. Maybe you remember. I don't. It's been
I
several
want
years.
to say I have some milestones or some life event markers that help me remember that, and I want to
Hmm.
say that was 2017 when you and I
Okay.
met, and you were, working where I went to do fitness classes.
Oh yeah, and the group fitness in the group fitness space.
Yes, yes, very early morning. We spent a lot of early mornings, 5:30 a.m. classes together. You remember that?
I do. I always tell people you have to be a special kind of proactive person to get up and exercise at 5:30 in the morning. It is just
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's where your and my story started. And of course, I've said this to you many times that, those 5:30 a.m. classes and just sticking with it and finding my fitness again and really connecting with you and becoming friends, you helped me find my passion and something that I have myself I didn't even know I had.
oh well, I think we all come to our passion and purpose in different ways and maybe I thank you, but maybe I was just the accelerator, right? I think you would have found that anyway, because you are passionate about it. So, tell us a little bit about that transition. Like you started exercising at 5:30 in the morning, or got back into exercising in 2017, and then how did that translate into leaving healthcare and where you are today?
So I was really athletic all throughout my life as a young kid. I come from an athletic family. We all enjoyed our own personal athletics, but also sports on television. It was a connecting point in my family. I come from a big family. I'm the youngest of five.
Oh wow.
So even in high school, I pursued athletics. And once I became, a wife and a mother, of course, all of that changes. Your whole life changes. And I
Mm.
kind of stopped making time for it. And that was probably a decade and a half or maybe around in there. And I just decided one day, I don't have a ton of time to work out during the day, but this gym has 5:30 a.m. classes. And that's where I started back. And it was really, a tough road, just getting back to it and finding not only the fitness piece of it, but the motivation and,
Mhm.
holding myself accountable. And then, finding the new normal of working full time, caring for a family, being a wife, keeping my fitness up. That was a big game changer for me when I flipped the switch and decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. The funny thing about joining that gym is I did not want to join it, and I got a discount through my employer and my kids. I have two boys who were in middle school at the time, I think. And my husband, they're like, join the gym. It'll be cheaper if you join, because you have to join so we can get um, the cheap memberships and stuff. So I'm like, I hate the gym. I just rather totally avoid it. I rather work out in my pajamas or throw on a pair of shoes and go, walk in my neighborhood and not deal with all the gym nonsense. And, you know, finally I succumbed to, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Well, 2 months or 3 months into it, I'm the only one going to the gym. Nobody else is going. So that's how I got started there. So you never know. You never know.
That's too funny. So everybody else like, please join mom so we can get the discount and we can get your membership. And then they totally
Yeah,
just
they started, working out with their school teams. They played various sports, and my husband, his motivation was short lived. So that's that was that, and I was already involved and just really finding it a part of my life. I wanted to you know, keep going in.
I love that. So, and that was in 2017, and you were at the time you still were working in healthcare.
Yes, full time job, 40 plus hours, big responsibility job.
Mm.
And I worked at a cancer center, and so long days, but I made time for it. And like I said, there were some life events that happened around that time. I think that
Mhm.
helped fuel my drive, big changes in my life uh, that kind of helped me mentally wrap my head around just being driven.
I love that when you talk about, especially going through the season where your fitness wasn't really a priority, right? And I think we all have seasons in life where sometimes our priorities maybe just need to take a back burner because of the season of life. But it's such a powerful reminder to say, hey, maybe it's a short season, but you have to bring that back in to be the best version of you, right? So, yeah, maybe as a season as a new mom or a young family, then you don't have as much time and space for that workout or getting that exercise in, but you were able to get back into the rhythm, and that's a tough thing to do, especially working 40 plus hours, and I mean still taking care of kids and still still filling all those roles, and yet you were able to wrap that back into your life.
Yes, and it wasn't easy, and I think that's one of the reasons why I do what I do today, because I saw how important it was to my vitality, hopefully my longevity, and just my daily health, how I feel every day. And one thing I say to my clients and to anybody who attends any of my classes is self care is, not selfish.
Mm,
Important for you to take care of your body, mind, your soul, so that you can be the best version of yourself for the people around you. So that's
I
what
love
I
that.
try to do. And I love, coming out of that phase of my life where, I wasn't working out, it was tough. I want to be able to be a catalyst or an accountability partner for women who maybe are in that space for one reason or the other, or whatever stage of life they're in, whether it's empty nester, grandparenting, new parent, young moms. Uh, I want to be able to provide that extra added oomph or accountability so they can make that happen.
So, when you talk about, because I love that one of your taglines is accountability can change you. And hearing your story, that just keeps resonating. Like, it sounds like that was one of the big things for you, is giving yourself that accountability. And now you've used that to fuel your passion and helping others. So you started, at some point you went from working out at 5:30 to teaching classes at the gym. So tell us a little bit about that, and then how that transitioned into where you are.
Okay. So, 5:30 in the morning, you're tired and a little delirious after, an hour on the bike. And then when your friend who's teaching says, anybody secretly want to become a group fitness instructor? You just kind of act like you didn't hear her and keep moving. Um,
Well,
but I did perked my interest for sure. And the first thing that ran through my mind is that would be really cool, but I don't think that's for me. I don't think I can do it. That was my thought. I don't, know if I'm the right age. I don't know if I can rise to that level of fitness. I don't know if I can make that commitment. And I think, there were a couple of other people in the class that um, responded to you. And then, like, I think it was like a week or two later, I said, is it too late to, take you up on that, possibility? And you're like, no, it's not too late. And then just went from there. But you were my accountability partner, as well as, everybody else who was attending those 5:30 classes as the group fitness instructor. But as you always do in all things, you uh, excelled in going above and beyond, and you always made the members of that class feel like it wasn't just showing up and getting your workout in yourself. We all know it's not because you're making a lot of money, but
no.
but you did. You always made everybody feel, at least I always felt, she's going to know if I'm not there, and she's going to say something. She's going to inquire, why weren't you here? Not in a uh, condescending way, but as a, hey, what's up? Are you going to show up? Everything okay? And that meant a lot to me. And so that showed me a very tangible skill that I felt like I had in healthcare, and that I could also use um, in helping create uh, accountability for people or women in fitness.
I love that. And you're right. It wasn't just going through the motions for me. I think I quit teaching group fitness in maybe 2018 or 2019, and it was such a passion, but it's not really any different than what I do today. Now I just help people reach their potential emotionally or mentally, maybe more as much as physical. But I just really had a passion for inspiring people to believe in themselves. And what's so cool is that along about the time that I was winding down in my group fitness career, you took it a step further, and then you went and got like certified as a personal trainer, and then now you've launched On Location Fitness. So tell us about that.
Well, once I became certified in personal training, I started to kind of, you know, learn through trial and error about the world of personal training and what it
Mm.
was to be a personal trainer and all the different avenues that you can take. And I took probably about a year to kind of figure that out on my own. And in the local gym that I worked at, they, took me on as a trainer, and I trained some people there, but and also worked with other trainers of varying degrees of experience and different age groups, which was really good experience for me. And I also was able to train people, different demographics, different age groups, all that. So it went to my experience. And it wasn't long until I realized that there is an element to personal training um, that can be more of like a sales kind of thing, like trying to
Mm,
get as many as possible.
mhm.
And I knew before I even started, but maybe didn't realize it. It's really not. I'm not doing it for the money. I mean, of course, we
Right.
all need livelihood. That's
Sure.
unfortunately you need that. But I didn't want to be the kind of personal trainer that was operating like a used car. I
Mm,
wanted to really make a difference in people's lives, like take it from step one, what do they need, and um, evaluate that and weigh it against my knowledge, experience, and skills, and make a roadmap or a plan of how I was going to help my clients meet their goals. And the longer I did that, the more I just kind of fell into this niche of women in and around my age. And
mhm.
I mean, since I've had my own business, my own LLC, I've kind of focused in on women just because that's my experience. So exclusively I train women, and I don't really like to put an age limit on it because I know I can help any woman who needs help with training.
Mhm.
But it just seems like my niche is women, in and around my age, give or take 10 years or maybe 15. And um, the longer I work in that demographic, the more I know that's where I'm supposed to be, because
Mm,
I see, women changing. Their women I'm working with changing their mindset about fitness, changing their bodies, and also their mindset towards nutrition and just their daily life. Now, all that said, they're doing the work. I'm just kind of helping them in this one little area of fitness, which is, I think, conducive to kind of wrapping your brain around making positive change throughout your whole life.
mm. Oh, I love that. Tell me more about that.
So, well, for my personal experience, once I started to really gain momentum with my own fitness and put in the hard work, the scheduling, the just raw intention and drive and just get it done, and saw how it affected my life and my loved one's life, I, um, just wanted to get better and better. And so I found that that's really a journey for everybody, and everybody's journey is different. I'm in a different place
Mm,
on that journey than everybody else. And I'm, it's not ending. It's not like, oh, I got to a place and I'm done, and that's that mindset in itself in anything you do, I think is very liberating because you're not expecting, okay, I'm going to get to this and I'm done. Then I can sit on the couch and eat French fries and watch TV for the rest of my life. And
but boy, it sounds good, doesn't it?
I know. Which as humans, we would love to be able to do that, but it's just, and you can, but I decided that's not what I want to do. I know that that's not good for me, for my brain, for my body, for everybody around me. So um, I just want to stay on this journey, and I still am learning. I think that's another reason why I love this new profession that I have and love my business, is because I am a lifetime learner. I always have been, even in my past career. I just love to learn, always wanting to learn the next best thing and get the next certification and be the best at what I do. And with this particular profession, I can learn whatever I want. And
Mm.
the challenges that I meet when I meet a new person and they may need something, I haven't experienced before, or maybe I don't have a ton of knowledge in. And so I learned that. And so that's one thing I love about, about this is just the lifetime learning. And I forget why I was telling you.
No, that's okay.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we were talking about how when you change your mindset around fitness and health, it starts to lead to good things in other dimensions of your life. And
Yeah.
it's so true. I share sometimes that one of the ways I healed from the abuse that I experienced
Mhm.
early in my teenage years was that when I started working out in the gym, it was so empowering physically because I
Mhm.
had
Mhm.
control over a tiny bit of my life. And it was so empowering because then it was like, well, wow, I can be intentional. And then it started to just like you said, it started to just kind of spread to the other areas of my life. And it gave me confidence and it gave me, just that empowering feeling of, oh man, if you can get up and go to the gym and get all sweaty and nasty and out of breath at 5:30 in the morning, you can take on like the world.
Yes, it's true.
The most difficult thing is getting out of bed to get to the to the gym.
Yes.
But so all that was going on, and you were like not finding your niche in personal training, and then in 2020 you launched On Location Fitness, right?
Well, the LLC was born,
Okay.
and the reason why I went ahead and pursued that was because of the dynamics of being a contractor at certain gyms. You really want to have that
Mhm.
LLC in place so that you can be a contractor and your personal training assets are protected, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So yes, the short answer to that is yes. That I became on location fitness then, but I didn't start training full time until 2023 when I retired from healthcare. Because
Wow.
for those 2 or 3 years, it was a side hustle, early
Yeah.
mornings, late evenings, weekends.
And that's a sacrifice in and of itself, right? To get to transition from a healthcare where you had a lot of experience and competency and in health insurance and then
Yes. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then grow that because you're passionate about something else and kind of leaving what's comfortable to start a new venture and helping people. And it is a sacrifice to build that up and weekend hustles and side and evening and commitments, and yet um it's just so exciting to see you step out into that passion and the difference you're making. I got to meet some of your clients a couple months ago, and just how you're making an impact in these lives of these women. So walk us through what you do with On Location Fitness and how it's different from like, personal training at the gym, kind of, so to speak.
So with on location fitness, I do an assessment, which is there's both physical assessments, of course, all the measurements that most trainers do, your weight, your height, your waist, hips, all that. I also look for any type of muscle weakness or overactive muscles. So it's all part of the physical evaluation. But then we have a consult, and that consult is completely um, created my own. I mean,
Hmm.
I have kind of taken bits and pieces from different places that I've trained, but I've created this consult so that I can really dial into the why people want the training, what their goals are, and then we talk about how I can help them. And one of the best things about working for yourself is that uh, you can do that, and I can kind of tailor my training for whatever the person needs. And as long as there's no major health issues, I'm not a physical therapist or anything like that, but I do have clients who have suffered stroke, who have been released from the physician to do physical exercise. So I help them gain strength and stability and balance. And then I have people who are in their late 30s who are,
Mm.
moms who just, want to keep up with their kids and be stronger and feel better. So I find all that out through this consultation, and that's not the act of having a consultation isn't anything eye-opening or earth-shattering or new, because most physical or most personal trainers will do that. But I take time. I take time with the person. That is usually an hour, hour and a half, and we just talk and get to know each other. And then once that consultation's complete and I get the physical assessment done, the first workout, if they choose a training package, the first workout is included, and we just do that first workout, and then we start from there. It's a 3-month commitment. I like to keep it at that 3 months at the least, because that gives time for results to kind of take root. Because
Mhm.
as you know, because you're in fitness yourself, those things don't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes a lot of hard work over time to really see results. So the 3-month requirement is that. And also it protects the client's time. Because if they come and train with me 2 times, it's not worth their money or their time. And it protects my time as well. And I think the thing that sets me apart is the personal connection, just the time I take to really get to know the person. And backed by that 33 years of healthcare, I know people. I know them
Mm.
pretty well. I'm naturally intuitive to that, and um, I just think the things that I've learned, technically and just uh, about people being in healthcare, has helped me figure out what women need when they come to me for training. And then it's it's really just about being an accountability partner for people who
Mm.
trust me with their training, because it's a commitment. I mean, it's a time commitment, it's a financial commitment. So I want to make sure that I do my best to hold these clients accountable, in a manner that suits them, because everybody responds to different things. So there's
Mm.
some people who, I, through trial and error, I'm like, okay, they they can't have the nice Lori. They're going to need somebody a little bit more mean to keep them on track. But there's other people who are self motivated, and just the mere fact of spending the money is going to keep them on track. So it
Mhm.
just depends on who I'm working with. And I think that's really what sets me apart, because I am. So, I'm the sole owner, so sole operator, and I get to, spend time with people and figure out what they need. And I know that if they give me a chance, uh, that we will connect in a way that's positive for both them and myself, and we're going to get the job done.
And the other cool thing is you actually go to the person. So
Right.
they
Yes.
don't they don't have to come into a gym.
That's hence, yes, hence on location fitness. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's kind of my target audience. Women who might not want to go to a gym. They want to, the privacy of their own home. So I do travel to clients' homes. I will meet them in a public place. I bring all the equipment. I bring the workout. They just commit to sweat and doing what I tell them to do. And and we get it done. And then one of the greatest things, of course, you can see them in my studio, is I launched a virtual platform in 2024. So now I can train people from the comfort of their own home. And for my clients who travel, business women or on vacation, there's no excuses. It's like, no, I can reach you.
Mm-mm.
I'll send you the link.
You can't
So
outrun Zoom.
that's right. And I'm hoping to gain some clients, who are further away from me too. I think that would be cool.
You were talking about being intuitive, and you and I were walking. I don't know. We had one of our walking meetings, which are some of my favorite kind of meetings because there's so much good brainstorming that comes when you're moving your body. But and we were walking. At some point, you're like, are you sore? Are you limping or something?" I'm like, "No, I really hadn't noticed anything." And I'm like, "Well, maybe I'm just carrying my purse weird or something." But that evening, by the time I sat down at the computer all day and then, winding down for the evening, I'm like, my IT band is sore. And it was so weird because I hadn't even been conscious of that. But like you just intuitively picked up that something wasn't motoring the way it was supposed to motor. I don't even know. But I realized that I was like, that's interesting because you kind of have that intuition of uh, where that person is. Like, like you were talking about some clients of yours who've had a stroke or need a modification or something like that. And just all of your experience and working with people, I think is such an asset in that.
Well, thank you. And I'm glad to know that. I mean, I'm not glad that your IT band was sore,
It's
but
okay.
I'm glad that, my spidey senses were on.
Spidey senses were there. But that's a pretty powerful skill. Like if somebody's, training me or coaching me in that ability to just, that's what we all want in any kind of coach, right? Is that other perspective that helps us reach our goals, but is also intuitive about what that looks like. So I love that. So tell everybody how they can reach you, get in touch with you. Do you offer like packages or where they can find all that kind of good details?
So on my website, you can go to onlocationfit.com, and there is a button that you can email. That's the best way if we're not already connected somehow, to go ahead and just click that button. It won't take you anywhere but to my email. Email me, say, hey, I'm interested to know about, what On Location Fitness is all about. I'd like to talk. And what I will do is connect with you. We can set up what I call an interest call and just talk a little bit and discuss what the client is looking for and tell them what I do and see if they're interested. And if they are interested, then we will set up everything from there. The pricing, I like to keep that so that if somebody's really interested, we'll talk about the pricing. There's a difference for virtual and in person. In
Oh,
person is a
sure.
little more expensive just because it takes me time to get there. I bring the equipment, takes more time, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I like to just keep the pricing, the quotes for pricing for people who are truly interested, because I want to kind of weed out the people who are kicking the tires, who want the
Mm,
cheapest trainer, and because I'm not the cheapest, I'm not the most expensive, but the value of my training is there. So, and I don't think you can show that by just listing your prices. So those
yeah.
aren't on my website, but if people are interested, I am glad to discuss it with them in person or on the phone.
Yeah. Love that. I love that because, like you say, that accountability is such an important part of that. And helping us reach our any goals, right? It's one reason we're so much more likely to achieve them if we write them down or we share them or we talk about them with other people. Is it's just it's powerful when we have that accountability that it helps us stay on track and stay motivated.
Yeah. Yes. Because accountability can change you.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Well, Lori, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, just kind of your journey and through that, starting with the self-doubt and where you are today and how far you've come. It's just, I think it inspires a lot of people that have a dream inside of maybe a side business or starting a side hustle or turning it into a full-time job. And yet we go through that. Well, could I do that? Right. And so I love your transparency and sharing that. And absolutely, just sharing your story of getting back into the routine for your own health and then turning that into the passion and where you are today. I love that. So thank you for sharing your story and your journey with us.
Well, thank you for allowing me to. And I know you don't like to hear this, but you were a big part of this. And like I said, you helped me find something in myself that it may have been there the whole time, and who knows, I may have found it anyway. But I do credit you, the person who you are, and us interconnecting through our life journey to where I'm at today, because you have helped me immensely in so many ways. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. You've done the work though. That's what's cool is I talk to a lot of people and pour into a lot of people, but at the end of the day, you went and did the work, and now you're on your own journey, and so that's what's cool. Just making it happen. I love it. All right. Well, flashing up your website there, onlocationfit.com, if you want to get in touch with Lori or contact information, and then of course her email. And absolutely reach out to her if that's something that interests you. If you're looking for that accountability partner that can help you kind of get re-energized and back on track. So, Lori, thanks so much for sharing with my podcast listeners. And yeah, can't wait to see what the next chapter holds.
Thank you, Maria. It's been great to share this. I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I always like to say, keep climbing, everyone.
Bye bye.